All right, good time to have extra rest as you get ready for a very tough matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals. But before we get to that, we've got the NFL trade deadline. By this time tomorrow evening, we will know if the Bills have made a trade or if they are standing put. Staying put. Yeah. I was going to say standing pat. I combined the two of them.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it worked. All right, it's a new Matt Beauvais trademark it. Howard Simon, Joe Buscaglia. As we get ready for tomorrow night, one, do you think they make a move? And two, if they do, what should they be adding? We can start with you.
I think they have designs on making a move. Whether or not they actually get somebody, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I've kind of come around on the idea of cornerback, and I've been yelling about defensive tackle for the last since Daquan Jones got injured. Mm-hmm. But I've come around on cornerback for a couple of different reasons. The first is that Dane Jackson, I think, has kind of an expiration date as to how he can continue be effective. Mm-hmm. Like last year, he was picked on at times down the stretch of the season, and you could tell he was kind of a liability. They wound up having to bench him, and they don't really have a good go-to on the bench for him right now. And then you couple that with this. Tre'Davious White is going into his second to last year under contract. He's coming off a torn Achilles. They can save over $10 million by cutting him with a post-June 1st exemption. So if they want to go hard at a cornerback and a young cornerback and sign him to a long-term contract, you are setting yourself up because you thought you had a long-term plan with White and Elam. That is blown up now. Yeah. Elam is a sunk cost. Tre'Davious White, torn Achilles, 28 going on 29 years old. Is he going to be the same player? So to me, if there's a guy out there like a Jalen Johnson from the Bears, who's going into the final year of his deal, 24 years old, perfect fit for this defense, go send a third and a fourth in Kaiir Elam. Then you have your locked-in number one corner for the next
I was reading about Jalen Johnson a lot today. It feels like he's one of the guys that, and I saw the Bills reportedly tied to him as well, so that's interesting.
It's smart.
It would be smart. What about you?
I think they will make a move, and here's why. The defense needs help.
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk about, I always think go get another wide receiver. You never have enough offense. But the offense has bodies that can make this work. The defense needs help, okay? Every level of the defense needs help. Now, Joe's been banging on the defensive tackle drum, so I came all fired up for the show tonight talking about defensive tackle, and in the break, he turns to me and says, cornerback. But look, he's right.
It's the old heel turn.
No. The Kaiir Elam healthy scratch was puzzling enough.
Yeah.
The Kaiir Elam doesn't dress, and we're going to sign a guy off the street and put him out there. And by the way, Josh Norman made some nice plays on special teams.
Yeah.
Was mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So it's like Kaiir Elam's not on the roster as far as I'm concerned. So you make a good point. But I'm going to say defensive tackle because you're right. Ed Oliver's great. Ed Oliver can't play 80+% snaps. You can't lean on him that much. They have to get help up front. They've got to solidify, whether it's for run defense or you want to get another guy to help just bolster the overall front. That's the strength of this team. Milano out and Trey out. You've got to put your eggs up front into the defensive line. I think they absolutely make a move to help this defense, and I would prioritize up front.
If they strike out on a big-time cornerback, I'm all for the defensive tackle thing. I'm just thinking about what could be good for them. Because the way that Beane operates at the trade deadline is something that can help now and later.
Right.
And doing a plug-and-play defensive tackle who might be out of contract at the end of the year, that there really isn't a later, especially if you're giving up an asset like Kaiir Elam or a draft pick or something like that. So that's why I'm into it. Like, they love a good nostalgia play. Bring back Harrison Phillips from the Vikings. He could be a one tech. Their quarterback is done for the year. Tier Tart is another one from Tennessee who I think could fit what they want to do. John Jenkins, who's a 34-year-old one technique defensive tackle from the Raiders. Like, these are guys that could do it.
Am I wrong for thinking just go get a wide receiver?
Yes.
No, I understand.
I think so.
No, you're not wrong, Matt. He's not wrong.
Why do you think
Don't
it's wrong?
say that to him.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think you're wrong.
We're friends.
I think they've really gotten onto something good here with the group that they have. Diggs, Dave, they're not going to do anything to jeopardize Gabe Davis's snap counts. Like, I know everyone wants to go get DeAndre Hopkins. They're not replacing Gabe Davis in the starting lineup. They love him. They will not do that. The only one who you might want to do that for is Khalil Shakir.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm not saying Khalil Shakir cannot be a good player. It's one
So
good game.
who are you getting that's better than him right now?
I don't know.
Hunter Renfrow? He was good like 4 years ago.
But that's He's got to be better, right?
Than Shakir?
Yeah.
Well, Shakir just had the best game of his life, and he's had a really good month leading up to this, and they usually stick with their guns. Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, going off how they operate, to me, it does not feel like this is an environment where they want to add a receiver, because still, remember, they have Deontay Hardy, who didn't really play a ton. They have Trent Sherfield. Dawson Knox is still injured and on the shelf. They feel like they've got reinforcements at the skill position players.
You're right. He's wrong. But
No.
You're right.
I didn't mean
here's,
you were
here's
wrong.
how you
I'm
phrase.
sorry, Matthew.
I like busting Joe's chops.
gonna get up and
Here's
leave
how
now.
you phrase it. Guy used to intern for us and look at him now. He's a big shot. You're right, but you're thinking like you.
Yeah.
You have to think like the Bills.
Yeah, but don't.
That's why I would love to add a wide receiver. But you got to think like, how are the Bills thinking? And the Bills are thinking, we're fine. We have Gabe Davis. We have Hardy. We have Sherfield.
Yeah.
Shakir. Think like them. And that's why I think they're going to add to the defense.
But what if I think they're wrong? Because as I start to think about the game against the Bengals on Sunday, and I know it's too soon for somebody to immediately step in, the Bills beat the Bengals on Sunday by scoring 35 points.
Right.
They don't beat the Bengals on Sunday by holding them to 20 points like they did a couple weeks ago when they played the Miami Dolphins. That's just not going to happen with the injuries that you've had. If you are going to accomplish anything, you need to do it by scoring 31 points every single week. And you know what? I just don't think that's possible with the current players that they have.
Give me a name.
Well, my name would be Devontae Adams.
But they're not going to replace Gabe in the lineup, and Gabe is not a slot receiver.
So
Devontae Adams is not a slot receiver.
So make Steph.
They're not going to make Steph a slot receiver.
Why not?
That's for sure.
He can do everything.
This is Steph's team. No, DeAndre Hopkins for that reason doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to throw a Jerry Jeudy into the equation, like Jerry Jeudy is fine. He's got good potential. Whatever. He can make a great play every once and again. He's not well liked by Steve Smith. We all know this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just don't know that they feel the same. They feel upbeat about what just happened on offense. They feel upbeat about what they have, and they have invested a ton into the offense over the last offseason.
Yeah.
And to the point where, okay, maybe they feel like they're just hitting stride, and now if they add one piece on defense to kind of, steady the ship here on that side of the ball, go from there.
So you're saying every play won't look like it's an adventure going forward on offense?
Well, at least Sean hopes not.
At least he hopes not. Okay.